We're live now on, you need to get this set. It's not set. Sorry about that, just a bit of confusion, trying to sort things. I just watched the Liverpool game there before we talk about the Borough, shoes of hand. I've just watched the Liverpool game there, destroy Newcastle United. I lost count of how many shots Liverpool actually had. Anyway, this is, hold on, sorry, apologies. That's what happens when you've been on the lemonade. Might as well have drank wine. Okay, so we're on. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and thanks as always to the sponsor. Well, first of all, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a happy, healthy and prosperous new year. Hope you've had a great time, hope you're in for a great year. And thanks to the sponsors, GRS Insulation, Dovecot, Advanced Utility Solutions, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Ultimate Windows, Ocean Lighting and TGM Cars. Thanks for your support. The team today, we're into the game today after beating Huddersfield. And the team, the lineup today was Glover, Engel, Clark, Fry and Van der Berg. So in the back four there was three centre backs. Although we're playing flat back four. Greenwood, House and Belazer, Jones, Rogers and Coburn. And on the bench was Gilbert, Manguera, Kavanagh, Coulson, Jones, Krumah, McCabe, Bridge and Belongo. That was the starting 11 and the substitutes. What game did I see? I thought we came out from the off. We were direct, we were creative, we were confident. We missed a couple of chances and then we deservedly took the lead. They had a couple of chances in between, but we were the better team. And then we controlled the ball on the left side, our right side, sorry. Jones got the ball, whipped it in, and just off centre, big Coburn got up in his head, downward header, right in the bottom right hand corner. I don't think many kickers would have stopped it. It was a great finish, great ball, great header, great goal. We deserved it for me. And then we had a couple of chances squandered. There was one before the goal where Jones, there was a great move by the post, and then there was one Jones rounded the keeper. He's at an angle. For me, he should still score. And the angle I was sitting at, when he shot towards an empty net, no his guilt edge just during the week one, nothing like that. It was a great move initially for Jones. Well done going round the keeper. And he's drilled it for the far corner. Where I was sitting to loose if it was going off, but their defender got a touch to it. And he diverted it towards the goal. I looked as if it was a definite goal, and it hit the post. We had a few chances. Then second half, I can only presume and take it that Coventry get a rock up their jacksies, because I thought they were second best all over the pitch. And they came out and turned it on second half. And before we knew it, we were 3-1 down and the points had floated down the River Tees. So disappointing start to the new year. The old cliche, but it's true saying, game of two halves. We were the better team first. Again, highlights, we need fresh talent in the month of January. People keep going on about injuries, and I get that. But, you know, we need good backup players. We need a centre forward. Well done, Coburn. Well done. Just coming in again out of the blue. Don't forget, Coburn, when he played, I think it was 1 defeat in 12 we had. I'm not saying it was all down to Coburn, but he's different for the rest. All the other forwards, Latif, Silvera. Talk about Silvera, he's gone now to the Asian Cup, along with Dieng and Co. And McGree. Those three, not mentioned today, they've all headed off. I was going to say good luck to them. Yeah, good luck to them, but I'm more concerned about Middlesbrough. Mohammed says, hello Bernie, Mr. Bernie. Hiya, Mohammed. I hope you're okay and well. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Not good enough again. Coventry were too good and we just can't seem to beat them. Big January now for the club to save the season. Can we save the season? Well, hey, look, we were 3 points going into today's game out the top six. We're now 4. Sunderland are sitting sixth in the league. We're 4 points behind them. They won today. So, still not a great goal. Still got a chance. But I still think we're short. Why are we short? Because we concede too many goals. I've not counted off the top of my head. But I bet we've let about, in 4 or 5 games this season, I bet you've conceded 3 goals against teams. I mean, 3 today at home. Off the top of my head, Plymouth or Kyle, did they get 3? Bristol get 3. There's a few teams scored 3 against us. Well, defence simply isn't good enough. Why? Well, we keep chopping and changing. Some of it football, the majority it forced. You know, with 3 centre-backs, I mentioned that earlier, 3 centre-backs today in the back 4. Van der Berg, who likes to play centre-half, who was striking up a good partnership, was moved to the full-back position, and Big Clark came in alongside Fry. So that doesn't help. Joey Henry, hiya Joey. Bernie, we looked so tired today, jaded, no goners. I was at the game when you and Speedy both got hat-tricks. Good memories that, Joey. So Joey travels the country watching Middlesbrough, obviously gets involved in this, and she's saying that we look tired today, jaded, no goners. I thought first half we were alright. As I say, I thought we were a better team. I thought we did move the ball well and we went for it from the off, but yeah, the energy levels did drop dramatically, but theirs seemed to rise dramatically, and the team that we'd faced in the first half came out a totally different outfit, which I can only presume that they've had a rock up their jacksies. Steve Sanders says, Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year, Steve. Hope things get better. Worst team ever. So Steve's saying worst team ever. You know, just before I go through, you know, the game I seen today, as I say, first half I thought we were good, we were direct, running at them, created chances. Again, didn't take a couple in them, scored a fine goal, and then second half the wheels come off and they were the better team. But reflecting in 2023, burr in the eye, 2023, the year it's just gone, I think, well, I know the football I watched and witnessed, along with the majority of Borough fans, was very, very good. We were brilliant, in fact. I'd say the word brilliant. I don't say that word lightly. I thought we were very entertaining, good in the eye. Players like Giles, Archer, Ramsey, amazing. I know they were all on loan, but in 2023 they were a big part of that team. Chuba Akpom was the top scorer in the championship. We had him. He was in our team. That was amazing. And then the biggest gem we unearthed in 2023, well, probably just before that, was Hayden Hackney. You know, it proves we don't have to scour Europe. We can just go to Redcar and get some talent. So Hayden Hackney's been a breath of fresh air. Just missing out the playoffs, I thought was disappointing because I thought we were very good and we'd already reached the playoffs, and then we started to tighten up with the team and left out Chuba Akpom, and that for me was easy in hindsight, but that for me wasn't right. I wouldn't have did that. Anyway, we've missed out the playoffs. Started this season, we've lost a lot of good players. We've brought in 12 novices. Some of them are still finding their feet. Some of them might not be good enough. We've got a couple that's shone. Looking at the 26 league game today, 26 league games. Never been good at maths or overtime. 11 wins, 12 defeats and 3 draws. Is that right? Is that math right? So 11 wins, 12 defeats and 3 draws. That's our season so far. You know, people say we're punching above our weight. Are we? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, this saying about, oh, come on, injuries. Every team's got injuries. Look at Postecoglou. Lost his best striker as an example. I know we're talking Premier League, one of the top sides. But lost Harry Kane, arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Gone. I've never heard Postecoglou making any excuses about him. He's gone. History. Had a load of injuries. Still doesn't really make that. Still attacks. Still plays good football. Doesn't win every game. But when I hear that as a sympathy, I think, hold on a minute, this is what's up with the modern game. We've got a squad of 30. A squad of 30 players. If we've got 12 injuries, there's still enough numbers there to make up and come in. It's up to us to make sure that the ones that's coming in to replace the ones who are injured or suspended or gone on Asian tour, international football, that they're good enough. And it shows you that there's quite a gulf, that they're not, some of them's not good enough. In my day, we had 14 in a squad. 11 started, 14 was the squad. So we've got 12 injured now, 30 squad. We had 11 starters and 14-man squad. 86, well, I think we had 13 players. I don't even think we had as many as 14. So there'll be no something coming my way. It's part and parcel of the game. I predict he's starting the season, there'll be injuries, loss of form, suspensions. It's all came true. It's in the winter. I didn't think there'd be that many injuries, especially with the technology, sports science and dietitians and the training facilities at Hillworth, the nice pitches. Today, I looked at the pitch, wow, it was like a bowling green. And some of the passes were still miscued, skew with We move on. All about the window now. Timmy Leach. Fair point. I think the pressure's on for the window. Mate, you're wrong. We are shocking. You say always says it for sake. So mate, you're not. Oh, you're not wrong. We are shocking. You say it always. Say it is for fuck's sake. That's Paul Patterson, obviously frustrated. You're not wrong. No, listen. Second half we were poor, and this season, I don't think we're punching above our weight. I've mentioned that there. I think we've got some talented players, but not doing it enough. Inconsistency. They're inconsistent. The players are inconsistent. You know, Jones, I mention all the time, prime example. Can what a world beater, 10 minutes later looks like a pub player. He's frustrating. The directness is sort of gone now. He'd rather pass the ball and play it square and keep retention of the ball. There was a couple of times he came today, the left back's in front of him. Go at him. Go on, step over the ball, get by him, drop the shoulder. But he's hesitating and he'll go towards it and he'll turn and he'll play it back. And then he'll play it back to the midfield and then he'll play it back to the left. Too slow for me. Needs to be more zippy. Happy New Year, Bernie, for Palmer. Hiya, Palmer. Happy New Year. Johnny Howson is an absolute legend. What a player he's been. He was great again today, Johnny. Oh, is he 34? Work ethic's amazing. Never lets you down. Even if he's having a bad game, which he didn't have today, he always gives it his whack. And yeah, again, the industrious this afternoon. Andrew Hill says, disappointing result today, Bernie. Engel had shocking game for the Borough today. When I look at the subs bench, it badly shows we need new players in the transfer window coming up. That's what I'm saying. But so it's already in the squad of 30 saying, oh, we've got 30 players. But the ones that come in to replace the injured or the suspended have to be up to it. And it's proven at the minute. I mean, I'll read out the bench again. I'm not sitting here to profess I know everything about every player. I don't. Gilbert, don't know a great deal about him. I can obviously look him up. But Baguera, young Kavanagh, fair DM. Coulson, who come, gone, headed off, came back. Jones, he's a goalkeeper, isn't he? Kruma, don't know a great deal about him. McCabe. Bridge, Belongo. So the bench doesn't exactly frighten you, does it? Well, it might frighten you as a Borough fan, but it doesn't frighten you, your opposition manager, and you go, who are they? Don't know enough. Because you don't know them doesn't mean they're not good. And you need to give these kids a chance, for sure. But we need good players to come in and put in a shift and keep the good going in the second half. Bernie, we played well first half, we did. Should have been 2-0 up. Should have been 2 or 3 up. Again, it highlights how we need a striker, a prolific goal scorer, somebody you hang your hat on and say he's going to get us a goal today. If we create a chance, he'll get on the end of it. He'll finish it off. Defence is shocking. Well, I say defence is poor. There's a number of reasons. The injuries is obviously the biggest one. The centre-halves now changed again today. As I say, with Van der Berg went full back and then you had Big Clark and Fry, the centre-backs. So obviously Engel on the other side. So that's been chopping and changing. The goalkeeper's changed. The end's away. He was injured before he went away. It's amazing. Don't forget, I'm a Borough fan. I'm interested in Middlesbrough. But I look and I think, McGree, all this time, declares himself fit a couple of weeks ago. Come on, off the bench twice. A bit piece for Middlesbrough. His bread and butter. To declare he's fit to go. How could we have not just held on? I'm being selfish because I'm a Middlesbrough fan. How can I have hung on, let it go a week into the Asian Cup and declare himself fit, and then he's not part of the squad, and then he can start playing for us? But and Dieng was injured and he's still away. And he never came back into the first team. He was injured, now he's away. Hi Bernie, think Robbins has picked some great signings as our 2 best players left. We're beginning to play for each other, 10 unbeaten. Think promotion will be next year, maybe with the Borough. So is that Finn? Actually Finn, take it he's a Coventry fan. Look, Robbins, Coventry became a wee bit of a bogey team. You know, playoffs, you look at the playoffs and you think they came here, done a job with us, and obviously they beat the next game, but they knocked us out. I think they've done us down at their place. They're a good team. Robbins is former Man United player. I don't think he played a lot, hundreds of games, but he was a Man United striker. Scored a few goals. He did well in the management. And good luck to him. His team play football, attractive football. They had a bit of pace today, second half. Took on the wide bursts, that were getting by our defenders and getting balls in the box. They hit the post. They could have scored 4. We should have scored 2 or 3. Happy New Year, Bernie, for Chris Thompson. Happy New Year to you, Chris. Happy New Year, Chris McGlade. So Chris Tomo says, and also Happy New Year to Chris McGlade, mailmate Chris. Chuba doing well for Ajax, Andrew Hill. Yeah, I scored 2 the other week there, and he's scored, banged in a few now, and I think Ajax is starting to climb the table, so good luck to Chuba. As I say, first couple of years, like the majority of people, I'd written him off, thought he's not good enough. And then Carrick came in, changed the dynamics, changed the system of the team. The DNA changed totally to pure football, and it suited Chuba down to the ground, and he became a star in that year. Top scorer in the championship, ended up with 28, 29 goals, got a required move. In hindsight, how good would we have been if he would have stayed? Well, saying that, you could go on and say, and Giles and Ramsey, and we'd have nailed them all down. Phil Otten says the squad is threadbare, was never going to be able to stand up to the Christmas schedule. You're trying to get back in the game with Coburn, Gilbert, Kavanagh. None should be in the first 11. That's a fair comment. I mean, my old mate Matt Proctor today, I was talking to Prop, he says it publicly, so it's not. And he just says that, you know, if we're genuinely trying to get in the top 6, you know, to pin your hopes on a young 20-year-old Coburn is a tall order. That's true, and you've mentioned other lads. Gilbert, some people have never heard of. Young Coburn and Kavanagh. Kavanagh's, that's his, third outing as a substitute, second or third out. So I agree with that, Phil. But whose fault's that? Is that my fault? Your fault? The club has to get better quality players in, or experienced players. We're going the young route and getting these players in 4-year contracts. But the 12 we signed in the summer, you'll be lucky next year if there's 5 of them still there. Coventry, Gyökeres, is that how you pronounce his name? Gyökeres, centre forward, big handful. He was quality. The best player in the summer, and look at a better side that is than us. They're a better side than us. Bottom line, we don't have we don't have enough depth in the squad, and injuries are killing us. Chelsea, Villa, Millwall next. No, but listen, Michael, you might have just joined us. Yeah, we've got injuries to key players, the better players, but we have to have better backup. We can't be bringing young novices who are still plying their trade, who are in apprentices. That's what you get. That's what we get. That's what we're getting. So the novices who we don't really know, we don't know a lot about them, and they come into the first team because of the injuries. But everybody's got injuries. And I'll mention that again because you maybe have just joined us, Michael. When I played for Middlesbrough, I didn't play 1920, you know. I stopped playing in 92 in the Premier League for Middlesbrough. We used to have injuries. When I came in the 86, liquidation, bankrupt, 13-man squad. It went to 14 the next year, I think. That was it. The squad was 14. We've got a squad of 30 in the modern game. So I don't look for excuses or sympathy, or it's part and parcel of the game. So we need to make sure that the backup's as good as the first team. It's never going to be quite, but it has to be better than it is. Too many players not good enough, Bernie. A real lack of mentality in the squad. That's for Harry. I agree with that, Harry. What about a couple of old heads? You know, but I get the future plans. I get this 4-year contracts and young lads and maturing them and get them right in there and then selling them off and making millions. I totally get that. But the other young players that come in, no, the first teamers, the ones that's in the squad, they have to be probably a bit better. One player doesn't compare to, no matter if he has the best player on or not. We lost the championship's top scorer and the most assists in the league to, not even to mention the midfield. But Ryan, whose fault is that we lost them? Is it yours? Is it mine? We lost them. We didn't lose them. 3 of them weren't ours. They returned to the parent clubs. Another one we sold for the money. That's business. That's where we are. I mean, there was a guy in the lounge today who says, look, we as Borough fans just have to realise that this is where we are, and we have been for a number of years, and this is it. This is where we're going to be for a number of years. Do you know what? He may be right. Maybe we're all looking too high up the league. Maybe we're fantasists. Maybe I'm a fantasist. I don't think we will be top 6. Irrespective we won 3 today and scored X amount the other day. I still think we're away short. Well, I know we're away short. Even with the players back, I still don't think we'll finish top 6. I'd love to think we can, and we could, but I don't think we will. Even Bernie keeps saying it, Borough Sunderland, exactly the same. Inconsistent Sunderland, need experience in, and Borough done for Nathan Williams. And Borough done in by injuries. I keep looking at the pot, I keep looking thinking, Sunderland, sack Tony Mowbray. He's my pal, but that's their decision. Won the day. I keep looking at the table waiting for us to be above them. We're 4 points behind them now. I think it started the day with 3 behind them. Now we're 4. Exposed too many times the left side, as usual. Greenwood just not good enough. Greenwood wasn't at it today. Greenwood's been praised recently. Greenwood was out of all sorts. There was a few players out of all sorts in the second half. Don't get me wrong, first half I enjoyed as a spectacle. As a Borough fan, I thought, hey, we're up for it. We're going for it. And we did, and we created chances. We get balls in the box, and we scored a great goal, Coburn. And then the second half, I can only presume that they get a rocket and get told off in no uncertain terms by the manager or the coach, Robbins, to go out and shows what you've got. You must be better than what you showed first half. And they certainly did that second half. You can either play football or not. Players years ago had skill. Not if you can run and pass to a player, you are average. So this is for Mike Broughton. You can either play football or not. Players years ago had skill. Not if you can run and pass to a player, you are average. And get a game, Bernie. In your day, players had skill. Happy New Year. And I think you would be fantastic if you were playing football in this era. I tell you what, my bank balance would be fantastic. Borough won't finish above Sunderland. Last year, your team was better. This year, I'd say yours are weaker. We know Akpom, the Perrywell pundit. Thanks for getting involved, the Perrywell pundit, obviously a Sunderland fan. Yeah, are we better than last year? Of course we're not. Even with all the players fit, are we better than last year? Definitely not. Of course we're not. How can you lose players like Giles, who was probably the most creative player we had? Probably one of the most creative players despite being a fullback in the division. How can you let him, what him going out the door and think we're going to be better? Chuba Akpom, top scorer in the championship. Ramsey, Archer, who are in the Premier League now. We never replaced them. We replaced them with younger novices who hopefully have got a bright future and a future like these guys. But you need time. And I don't think in football, in the modern game, you've got time. I don't think there's a lot of time. Well, there's not a lot of time given. At least half of our squad nowhere near good enough. We can't defend. Fire Scott, who is clueless, and bring this in for Martin Cole. And bring in a coach who can sort out the defence and get rid of Woodgate. So Martin's wanting to kill a few of them already. Well, I think collectively, everybody has to get it. Collectively, individually, collectively, everybody carries the can. You know, I talked to you a few weeks ago on here, directors of football like Kieran Scott at Middlesbrough, up and down the country, all over Europe, every club's got them. And they do more than just pick the players and play a part in letting players go and who's coming in. They do everything. There's a number of jobs they've got. They probably get one wage, well paid, handsomely paid, no doubt. And they've got a whole host of jobs. And it's very difficult. It must be difficult for them as well. As I said, Kieran Scott, I don't know him for Adam, but he could be the best talent spot on the planet. But every time he goes to the chief executive chairman, he can be knocked back to you off. How much? You're joking? No. Tell me we're going to get somebody else. And that's the way it operates. I don't think Kieran Scott could just go his way and go, I want him, and don't have to go to the top boys and get the authority and to sanction it. I don't think he's got the pull to get rid of players and bring them in, but he has to get it sanctioned first. Initially he's got the power, and then the power's taken out of his hands. If I'm wrong, anybody tell me I'm wrong. What is honest opinion with the Borough fans and Carrick and the inconsistency with the results? Will he survive if playoffs aren't achieved? Somebody asked me this today, he's under pressure. Carrick, all managers, coaches are under pressure. Carrick's a coach, he's under pressure. But no more than anybody else in the Championship. It's part and parcel of the job. You know, as I mentioned earlier, 26 league games played, 11 wins, 12 defeats. The other few have been draws. So it's not exactly, you know, setting the head of the light and thinking, wow, what a season. Some people get carried away. We won 2 and more, we're getting promotion, and get beat 3, we're getting relegated. You need to be more cooler than that. I think Carrick's done a great job. I still like the football. I still think I like the intention of the football. I don't like the defending. I think the defending's poor. I couldn't defend myself because I was a forward, but couldn't tackle a dinner. That's what my mates told me anyway. But going forward, we're still trying to play the proper way. And Carrick, I'll tell you what, I can't talk for Carrick, but I'm looking at Carrick's sideline today. You see frustration, losing that cool persona. I think he'll be praying that he gets players in January. Quality players. Because it's his CV, it's going to be set alight if it doesn't come off. He'll be the guy that carries the can. He knows that. But he needs a bit more quality in January. And even more so with all the injuries we've got. Because we never get told now how long they're going to be. Or we don't know. You know, somebody said to me today, Foz, what's his problem? Don't know. How long's out for? Don't know. What about Hackney? Don't know. And then there's circulating rumours that Hackney's off in January with mollycoddling him, covering him in cotton wool, looking after him. It's a done deal. And all these rumours start. In my day, you say, so-and-so's out. He's out for a month, whatever. That's it. So-and-so, he's out for the season, whatever. But these days, there's sort of a shield of secrecy. Oh, we don't want to really reveal what's going on, how long they're out for. With all the technology, we should know how long they're out for. I've read that, sorry Martin. Steve Sands says, how about new owners? Is it time? Well, Steve, I've said this on here forever, and everywhere I've been over the years. New owners, who would buy Middlesbrough in Teesside? Who would buy Middlesbrough? I've heard for years, Cleveland. Is it Cleveland, whatever it's called, some mob, Cleveland, what is it, what they're called? They were in, there was so-and-so in for abroad. I've heard all the rumours and all the tittle-tattle, but will we get a better chairman and owner than Steve Gibson? Somebody that has invested unbelievably and still there after all these years, through thick and thin, cup finals, relegation. Will we get a better chairman than Steve Gibson? I hear you saying, well, he's not ploughing the money in. Well, he's ploughed money in ever since he's been there. And obviously, as a chairman of your own club, with no big consortium behind you, there's times you need to recoup it. And I'm sure he's done it over the years. And rightly so. I wouldn't keep ploughing money into whatever business without recouping it. As I say, I don't know the financial structure of the club. But I can only presume that Steve Gibson is, well, we don't even need to assume. We can take it that he's not a billionaire, he's a millionaire. And he's done magnificent keeping us afloat and keeping us going. And this is probably the reality. Maybe the fans are looking too above their station, thinking, oh, we should be up here and we should be in the top flight. Top flight, we'd get eaten alive. Get up with the squad we've got now. We'd be eaten alive. Squad's just too light. Can't blame Carrick or Gibson for that. As I say, the squad is light. We know the squad is light. It's been highlighted even more now because of the injuries. It's showing the light now, and so we're frail. We've not got a big squad. Well, we've got a big squad, but we're not good enough. We could have 45-year squad, but they're simply not good enough, not experienced enough, and that is a problem in itself. We can't blame injuries for the Coventry goals. They were avoidable. That's a fair point as well. There's certain times, it was a Hull City piece. There's been games recently I've looked and thought, well, that's nothing to do with it was a Hull City. We beat 2-1 with Hull. It was one of the games I watched at Riverside and thought, well, the better team now, all of a sudden we get beat 2. I'm sure it was Hull. And we get beat 2-1. And at the end of it, I thought, well, that's nothing to do with injuries or suspensions or people that's away in it. That's just bad play. And today, you're right, Timmy. The goals are nothing to do with injuries. The players out there proved the first half they were the better side, and then the second half they they collapsed. It's a good excuse, a good out. But everybody's got injuries. I hear people say they've got 12. Well, whose fault's that? What is the injuries? Are we doing too much training? Are we flawed somewhere? I don't know. 12 injuries seems a hell of a lot. I've never experienced it. And I played at Middlesbrough 8 years. I can't remember ever having 12 players injured. Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year, Dave. Dave Saunders. Worried the squad is not good or deep enough. The period of the next 4 weeks determines the season. The season's as end of January. We will not end up anywhere near the top 6. Yeah, for me, I looked at the Huddersfield game, today's game, and then the next 2 cup games as a sort of a defining of the season as to where we're going. Obviously, we beat Huddersfield. Today we get beat. Aston Villa, Premier League team. I'm sure Villa's flying high, we know that, but I'm sure Emery will put out a probably strongest 11. I don't think he'll be coming to just toss it off and go through the motions, and if they get beat, they get beat. I don't think he's like that. I think he's a winner. So they'll come to try and turn us over. And the last thing we want is a spanking. We want to put in a good shift. And Middlesbrough always surprise you, even when I played. You played against so-called bigger teams, and we always put in a shift. Sometimes you get great results. So it's not impossible. And then after this next Saturday, the Villa game at the Riverside, we're playing the Tuesday against Chelsea. I don't know how they got on. Were they playing today? Chelsea are still inconsistent, like us. Anything can happen, but it's over 2 legs. Imagine getting to the final. The final in the League Cup. Wow, we play Liverpool. Dear God, Liverpool. What was I again today? What was it the first half, the stats? See, stats don't lie, the opinions can lie. And everybody sees different opinions or gives different opinions, which I enjoy listening to other opinions, although I don't agree with a lot of them. But I think they had 18 shots to Newcastle United's 1. And it was like 1 each, something like that. It ended up 4-2. We played exactly the same. We played exactly the same against Hull. We take the lead as the other team are poor. So it was Hull, yeah. This is Eterio, Basco, Brown. They only have to up their game, and we are beaten once again. This tippy-tappy football is horrendous. Too many passes, opposition. Team don't play like this. All the best, Terry. Yeah, I've mentioned this again as well. I like to think I played football as a footballer. I wasn't a tackler, I wasn't tough. Didn't want to ruffle feathers or break noses. I just wanted to get crosses in, create things, score a goal, celebrate. That was what I was about. So I love football. But this passing, pass the ball to death, wear the leather out, play it back to the keeper for the halfway line. Garbage. Too slow, too laboured, too predictable. The opposition get every man behind the ball and say, go on then, pass it back to your goalkeeper, and then pass it to the left, back to the centre, back to the right, back across the midfield. It's boring. I get the idea, but we are not good enough at it. We're not good enough. Man, I keep saying it, I was saying it today to a few of the lads. Man City do it because they're the best. They're the best in the country. The world. Not the country, the world. And everybody's trying to emulate and copy them. We can't do it. We've not got the players, we've not got the quality. I mean, I watched Glover with the Huddersfield game. He tried that fanning about at the back. I call it fanning about. If you're offended, we'll switch off. Fanning about, and he played it straight to their lad. And the guy almost scored. Should have scored. And it's happened time and time again, and we've not really been punished as yet. But this, just retaining the ball and going nowhere, I get it to grind opposition down with energy levels. I get all that and getting players out of positions where you can play around them. But we're not very good at it. We were last year, I thought, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I thought last year we were amazing. Some of the football was great. This year, we're too tippy-tappy, going nowhere, over-elaborating, flattering to deceive. Use whatever word you want. That's what we are at the minute. I just want to see is bang, 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 goal, shoot. And do you know the other thing? It infuriates me. And I seen it today, and the guy I was sitting next to, he doesn't usually come to games. I was sitting next to him, and I said, you know what infuriates me? Every time we get, say it was Jones, I'm just saying Jones, I'm not picking Jones, just say it was Jones. Jones drops the shoulder, goes, shoots, blocked. Somebody else, shoots, blocked. Rock, shoot, blocked. Why is it getting blocked all the time? The idea is a forward-thinking player, get the opposing player off balance, Have a, you're scanning where you're going to do it. If you're going to have a shot, you're going to have a shot. You've got it in your head. Drop the shoulder, get out your feet, make sure there's enough room to hit the shot. If there's all you need another touch to go by the next man. But we've got this habit of hitting opponents time and time and time again. And that's no fluke, that's just bad play. They cannot keep getting blocks every time you have a shot. There must be the odd clear shot. I think we had won the day, 2 clear shots. The rest were blocked. And when we're in good position wide, we're not getting in, there's still this tendency to just accept it. The players go, oh, it's okay, we'll no bother. Give them an air bashing. Go up and tell them, get the ball in the box. Too nicey, too mamby-pamby. Oh, we don't want to upset our teammates. Remarkably, we're still in the race. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're still up there. 4 points. We've been beat 12 games and only won 11, and we're 4 points out of the top 6. I think if you rewound the clock back to the teams I played in Middlesbrough in the Championship, I reckon if you were 12 defeats going into the month of January, you'd be in the bottom half and probably written off. So remarkably, we're still in the race. Let's hope the recruitment team bring in some key players so that we can finally get this season going. Matt Scott. Well, we had a bad start. 7 games, no wins. That was an awful start. We kept our cool. Carrick kept his cool, as did the players. They responded brilliantly, turned the corner. Now we've turned the corner and now we're inconsistent, up and down every week. We don't know what team it's going to be, who's injured, who's in, who's out, who's going to international duty. There's just disruption all the way. A lack of quality, we are falling short of what we need to achieve a playoff goal. There is no one who can turn this if you call it everything. There's no one who can turn the course of the game for us. Hopefully a couple of good additions and some injured players returning will change their fortune. It's frustrating. Fair enough. Colin. You should always have replacements for every position. Tony Seaman. No, we've got replacements, Tony. But how good are the replacements? They should be not as good. That's why they're second string. But they should be half decent and know the roles are coming into play. Excuse me. And live up with the billing. I've not seen it as yet. As I say, the bench today, a lot of young lads I've never heard of. Well, I have heard of them. They've been on the bench recently. But I think that's Carrick more or less flexing his muscles going, well, there's the bench. If it doesn't go to plan, I'm throwing on the kids. You know, on you go. Hey, on you go, young Kavanagh. They come on the day, young Kavanagh come on late in the game. He wasn't going to change the course of the game. He only had 10 minutes to try and do something. Hi Bernie, look at Howson, never gets injured. In your day, Bernie, it's the boots, it's just modern games, gone from men to boys. Look at the weather, used to play in the 80s, snow and rain pitches used to be terrible. I agree. I've got a thing here actually. I didn't plan this, but I'm going to say it. So, teams I played in, guys before me, most consecutive league appearances for Middlesbrough. This is the club you support, you're watching. And I've just picked up there, it's been lying there. It was up the loft the other day. David Armstrong. So most consecutive means one after another. David Armstrong, 305. Ray Yeoman, 190. Heine Otto, 139. Slaven, 136. Tim Wilson, 130. Bill Harris, 127. Wally Madron, God rest him, the great Wally Madron. 125. Myself again, another run, 116. Jim Platt, goalkeeper, 112. And Stuart Bohm, who's a centre-back with Willie Madron, 105. There are the history, the most... Could you imagine a modern player playing 100-odd games in the bounds? No chance. They're not allowed to because they keep chopping and changing. And they say they're so I said it today in the lounge, I said it here last week. It's just like the pedigree dogs. When I played, we were mongrels. Just all mongrels. Got on with it. We've got a niggle. Well, we carry on. Oh, we'll carry on. Gary Hamilton, who's over, he'll be coming to a game in the 20th at the Riverside. He's over for America. Looking forward to seeing him. Hammy had a bad knee problem. At the time, he was injured within. Couldn't see it, but there was actually a hole within his knee. And he kept playing through the pain barrier and taking injections, along with other lads. Now, all this technology and the fancy stuff, you think we'd be back in a flash. But we're not. And the pitches are perfect. The facilities are unbelievably good. We've got the best of everything. And we're falling like flies. Why is that? Peter's going to tell me it's a quicker game. That's a load of pants as well. What's a quicker game? What's quicker? I look at Middlesbrough side. I don't think there's a lot of quick players in Middlesbrough side. I wasn't quick myself. We had a Stuart Ripley who was quick. Traore was super quick. Latty Laugh's quick. Jones is quite quick. A lot of the players are slow. So don't give me that it's a quicker game and all that rubbish. That's nonsense. You're kidded. Leslie said, if you think we can beat Chelsea, you're a fool. I'm afraid to say I will come back on here when we lose the first leg 2-0. Oh, thanks for that, cheery Harry. Leslie, thanks for that, lifting the spirits. Oh, another one today in Coventry. I thought I dropped best, but thought we would lose. That's where my cash went and I won. So another one today, Coventry. I thought draw at best, but thought we would lose. I actually thought it'd be a draw today. You know, we're sitting the Furies and it's not been negative. I just thought the way we've been playing, we could beat with Rotherham when we bought loads of chances. We were the better team by far. Get done, freak goal. Then we huff and puff against Huddersfield and we score a freak goal with Johnny Howson drilling into the ground and ends up in the top corner, top right hand corner. And this is what happens. We've not been playing well and getting away with it. It's a good habit when you're winning games and you're not playing well, i.e. Huddersfield. But today, you're playing a half-decent team. We're playing a half-decent team. I've also asked 10x players our chances and all say 0 chance. Dear God. Lee Davis says, we need a big, powerful forward, defensive mid and big, powerful centre-back. Lee, big, powerful centre-forward is Coburn not half-decent to play that role? Do we not need somebody up there who's going to be a goal scorer, a sniffer, fox in the box, ruthless, composed, finisher, who grabs his goals? Defensive midfielder, Johnny Howson's defensive midfielder. So what are you going to do with Johnny Howson? Obviously, Beleza is in the midfield. He's more a creative player. Hackney comes back, he can do both roles. Nathan Williams says, Bernie, just to pick up your point on having quality in the squad as backup quality players ain't going to come to the Borough and sit on the bench. Fair point. Borough can beat any team on the day, but so can any championship team. Does anyone know what Gibson's ambition is for the club, or is he and his minions happy to tread water in the championship? Well, almost Steve Gibson can answer it, but as I say, I still think Steve Gibson's got the desire to succeed at Middlesbrough and get us back to the Premier League. I'm sure he wants to sample that again. But he's obviously, along with the club, trying to do it in a different way, i.e. getting players in on 4-year contracts and building them. Because every year we get loans, and every year I've been critical, not saying because of me, but a lot of people were critical because it's foundations made of sand. We get all these loan players in, they all do well, they're in the shop window, then they get back to the parent club, and then the parent club makes millions and they sell them on. It's happened with Gills and Co. Gills went to, was at Luton, and Archer went to here, wherever. And so we're just like put them in a shop window for their benefits. So now I think we've went, do you know what, we ain't doing that. I'm only surmising this, but that's what it looks like to the outside, looking in. So what they're doing now is getting players in 4-year contracts who are not big names, not household names, cost peanuts in comparison with other players. And we're going to try and show them and progress them and polish them and sell them on and make millions rather than squander millions on donkeys, which we have done. So for a business point, I'm a fan, but for a business point of view, that makes sense. But for a fan's point of view, and I'm a fan now, I just want instant success because, and so does Carrick. Carrick needs instant success. If the wheels come off, he'll get his marching orders. If we were going to have 10 games now and no win a game, he'd probably get sacked. That's just the way the game is. It's mental. Tony Mowbray, they were level with us. Mowbray was level with Middlesbrough. He got sacked. They're still 4 points above us. So it's a mad game, but I just think that we've changed direction and course, and I think we have to stick, well, the club has to stick that way. If that's intention, get away from this foundations and sand where you play good, do well, end of that season, then they all head off, and then you're back to square one, have to rebuild again. That's not the right way to go. The other way is probably the right way to go, but I don't. And I would ask the fans, have you got the patience to watch Middlesbrough build a team? And has Carrick got the patience to watch a team getting built around them? Because if the results don't go well they're building, Carrick won't be there. Happy New Year, everyone. Bad start to the new year, but anyway, up the effing borough. Just short and sharp for Stuart, no messing about. Bernie, wish we learned too many average players, not manager. It's players who need to step up. Well, obviously, Carrick picks a team. Carrick picks a squad on the bench. Nobody interferes with that, but he's not necessarily privy to everybody that comes in and goes out. That's to other people. But as I say, I think Carrick will be frustrated. I was looking at him today, looking at his movement, and he looked frustrated. He looked frustrated during the week when I was watching. He looks a frustrated figure at the minute, and this is a big. He knows it's a big month for him himself and for the club. He wants to succeed, and he's done brilliant. The football's been great, but he's really been tested now. Promotion is not the budget, Bernie. I agree. No signs in January will prove this. Up the borough. Thank you for the insight, Bernie. Thank you, Gary and Samantha. William, thank you. I would probably agree with you. You know, if you were to ask me, who do you think we'll get? I don't know. Who's available? I don't know. How much money have we got? I can't answer that. Not got a clue. Do I think there'll be household names? No. Do I think there'll be loans? I don't. Might be wrong. Do I think we'll spend big bucks? No, I don't. So I'm with you. The budget will be low, and I think there'll be a couple of players in, 2 or 3 players, but I don't think we'll be able to relate to any and go, wow, that's some signing. I mean, the summer there was 12 come in, and we all went, who are they? And that's not being disrespectful. When I came, who's Slaven? Scotland. Scotland playing Albion Rovers, who are they? 4th division crap, bottom of the league. Who's he? Scotland's top scorer, anybody can score up there. But I'm only one. We get 12 of them in the summer. Bring Peter Kenyon back. Mohammed, you're joking, aren't you? Mohammed. The squad is one of the worst we have had. We literally need 6 or 7 players with quality, and unfortunately, unless we get Lee Fields, and unless we can get 4 or 5 of them on loan, we don't have the finances or the geographical pool to attract the players. We'd just like to see more of the academy players given start. Well, this is the thing. We've raved about the academy over the years. Produced Stewie Downing, Adam Johnson. There's lad Baker there. There's been a host of players over there, but they're the main ones. Young Gibson, Hackney. They've all come through the ranks. And that's to the credit of the academy. But what's happened to the academy? Because 12 of the players that came, who are relatively young lads, for all the Europe and Australia, how that to me indicates there's no real gems in the academy. I know we've brought a couple in now, probably through the academy. I mean, guys like Belongo, Bridge, McCabe don't really know much about these kids. I can presume, I don't even know if they came through the academy. But the academy, if we're scouring Europe and the world for young lads, when we've got young lads that play 21s, and they're not being given an opportunity, and these guys for abroad are jumping over them, then it lets you know that it's not as good as people portray. So I would rather, young Kavanagh today, I was hoping he'd get more time. Nothing to lose. We were getting done, see if we can get a goal. The boy nearly scored against Port Vale the other week, didn't he? And the cup, he come off the bench, looked lively, sharp as a razor. I like the kid. But I don't know how good or bad he is, because I've not watched him for a dozen games, but he's had a few starts, a few come off the bench now. Someone who likes a Palmo will buy the borough. Craig Dales, Craig, man. Well, be some fat bloke if he likes Palmos. The 2 richest brothers in Teesside Cleveland Cables. Sorry, did I say Cleveland? Yeah, Cleveland Cables. That was the word in the street years ago. That these guys, Cleveland Cable. As I say, it's been rumours for years. I've heard them myself. 10 minutes already. Wow. Look, I'm happy with Steve Gibson at the helm. I've not got anything against Steve Gibson at the helm. If I did, I would say it. I'm not worried to give him an opinion, but I don't see anybody better than Gibson, who's a Borough fan, who knows about football. No, there's not a lot of chairmen in the country or the world know about football. They know about the money side of the business. Gibson knows about the business, he knows about the football, and he's been here since a young director. He's been through it all with the club he loves. You want to give it to somebody who just loves the money side, like Ashley when he bought Newcastle, just purely business in it for the money, reap the rewards, see you later. As I say, Middlesbrough's not, we love it, and I'm grateful to Middlesbrough giving me a big opportunity many years ago, and I love it here. I love the people, I love the background, I love the industry side, the hard working ethic, but I don't kid myself. Middlesbrough are not attractive. Middlesbrough's not attractive. It's a town. It's a town, it's not even a city. It's a town. The airport's not attractive. The area, shutting down all the big industries in recent years, that's not attractive. Anybody down south who they don't fancy, oh here, go up north to us. So I've said it before. So I love it here. I'm praising it, but down south they think we're the arsehole of Britain. Oh, put them up there, put her up there. They don't care up there. Then they've got the cheating audacity to come up here and condemn the place. I live here, I know how great it is. I know how great the people are, how big-hearted they are, and how nice we are. But to be attractive and attract big names, you need money, you need the airport, you need the city background as well. I know you can say, oh, we get ravaged, and yeah, the money was flying around then. It's not so much these days. Did you say we'll be eaten alive? Yeah, I did actually, Leslie. Yeah, it shows you're listening. You're right, Villa and Chelsea. What is the space? 5-1 aggregate. By the way, this Leslie Coates is from here. He's a voice of doom. Do you walk about with a big black cloud over you, Leslie? Villa will demolish us. Dear God, Enzo. Enzo, what's going on? We'll find out. If both play to the potential, they will demolish us. But we need to get in there with a bit of hope. And the players need to go out there and believe. It's alright us believing, the players have to believe it. I've heard for years the Borough fans, oh, believe. No, we don't have to believe. They need to believe. The guys that should run out the pitch. We played Villa. Semi-final, we played them in the league as well, live on the TV. And that was a rarity. Because we were a low division team. We played Aston Villa. We won 2-1 against the odds, live on the telly. Big deal at the time. And then we played them in the Zenith Cup final. They were in the Premier League, the top flight, or the first division. We were in the second league. We beat them down there and here. So anything's possible. And people didn't give us an earthly. Try to think who the manager was. Graham Taylor, who went on to be England manager. He was the manager of Villa. They were littered with international stars. Paul McGrath was centre back. The lad Daly, Tony Daly was it? Winger. Very, very tricky. They were loaded with international players and we beat them. Great result with Coventry though. Oh, probably Seaside, whatever. Don't know what he's called. I just said Seaside. Have you ever known a more inconsistent team win, lose? Liam Bennett. So he says, have you ever known a more inconsistent team win, lose? Jones, no end product. Greenwood, people saying we'd be robbing Leeds, getting him for 1.6 million. We'd be the ones getting robbed at that price. Rodgers showed glimpses, nothing more. Belazer, terrible, needs to stop thinking he's Xavi or Iniesta. Engel, just not good enough. Two centre-backs looked like they were pulling trucks. Dear God. Oh dear. Van der Berg out of position. So many things, wrongs. So many wrongs to right. Well, you've had a fair old go, Liam. You've gave all your opinions. And look, Greenwood, I do think Greenwood's good enough. I think he can be good enough. 1.6 million, I think that's peanuts in the modern game. I don't think it was good today by any stretch of the imagination. He has been inconsistent, but I think he can do the business. So I would stick by him. Rodgers showed glimpses. Again, I think Rodgers has good potential. Get through this season, then next year it's praise or condemn because they've had a good run. Rodgers showed glimpses, nothing more. I'd agree with that. Belazer, terrible. I don't think he thinks he's Xavi or Iniesta, but I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I thought Belazer would be. Don't forget Belazer again. You're talking about players here and condemning players, 900 grand and 1.6 million, and some clubs sign players for 80 million and they don't kick their ass for 3 years. We paid Piero 5 million quid. I never seen a lot of fans getting on his case. He never kicked his ass here. £5 million to Middlesbrough, lot of money. We paid 5 million for Lucky Laugh. He's been inconsistent in that the team. He's injured at the minute. He's scored. He's been out. He's been on the bench. Engel just not good enough. And two centre backs look like they're pulling trucks. The thing is, Clark has been out. I'm not making excuses here. I don't know Clark. As I say, even if they're my pals, I would still condemn them if they need to be told they were bad or whatever. But Clark's been out for a year. 1 year. Injured. He looks a big heavy set lad. He's going to find it tough coming back in. Played a couple of bit pieces and then he started. I thought he did a few good things today. And a few not so good, but Dale Fry has been here a long time. I believe he signed a new contract, extended contract, more money, whatever. Maybe Dale's just been here too long. I don't know. And obviously Lenihan's out injured, so yeah. And don't forget, Fry was striking up a combination with Van den Berg, because Van den Berg by trade is a centre-back. Him and Fry were getting on. But then because of the injuries and whatever, they put Van den Berg out of position again and moved Clark in with Fry. So that's disruptive to Fry. And obviously disruptive behind him because the goalkeeper's in, because Dieng's going on international duty. Obviously he was injured, but he's still going on international duty. Bruce Levinsky, is it? Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year, Bruce. Totally agree. I know it's putting a lot on the lads playing in place of those out. Let's see, sorry. Two passive no end product for Stephen. Happy New Year, Bernie lad. Totally agree. I know it's putting a lot of the lads playing place of those out of, hold on, out to beat. Sorry. Long-winded, so I need to respect it. Right. One thing that is frustrating about Carrick's teams that they are Jekyll and Hyde in too many games, like today. What is it about Coventry, for sake? They're not the team of Heyman and Co. last season, yeah. So I found it annoying today. Would have loved young Coburn to get us a win. Let's hope for a freak unexpected win against Chelsea for a much needed boost. That should be interesting given how inconsistent both teams have been. Pack the house out and see what happens. Nothing to lose. Same with the FA Cup game. So that's from Bruce. I agree, Bruce. Let's go there. Let's go. Shackles off. No worried. All the pressure's on the Villa because they're the top side at the minute, flying high in the Premier League. Managers did amazing since Gerrard's departure. Good footballing team, good in the eye of the attackers. But we can attack them as well. Let's get fearless. We can go wallop. Fine. We've had a go. We cannot go and just try and defend. That's a one-off game. But then in the League Cup, things need to be a wee bit cagier because it's a two-leg affair. We can't go gung-ho, try and go for the juggler and let goals in and go down there getting beat. We want to win here and go down there with at least a goal advantage. Regarding the way we play, if we want to play the passing at the back, taking risks, the whole point of it is to hit. The whole point is surely to hit them on the break by taking the players out of the game. We do that, take all the risks, then slow the game down and let all the opposition players back in the game and start again because we are too slow. We're all at risk, little reward. I totally agree with that. So we get it, we pass, and then we pass it all the way back to Keita, and it slows it down. They get every player behind the ball, and then it's back to square one. It's relentless. Late on I think when we went 2-1 down, we did start to. You need to mix it sometime. We've got Coburn up front who will contest and go up there and try to ruffle feathers and back in and elbows. He'll try. He's still up against a young lad, still up against two hairy ass centre backs. Try and just change the dynamic. Forget the football for 10 minutes. Let's just launch it and push up and squeeze up and harass and we started to do that to no avail. But we tried it for a short period. Clark and Coburn hitting 40, 50, 60-yard balls just to try and change things. But by that time it was too late. It might have even been 3-1 down when we started doing that. I'd buy two centre halves. Need the goal machine from somewhere. Might have to be lower league forward. That we might be able to get this if we Dean Wilson. It might be able to buy cheaper. I'm sure that whoever we get is going to be cheap. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I think that's where we are. Bernie, we haven't got the money. I've just says that, yeah. No more, but we have to change our recruitment to many average players. Yeah, as I say, how long do you get young, we're buying young lads in, novices, apprentices, lads that we cannot connect with and say, oh, we know him and we know that one. We've brought them in bulk. That's difficult. As I say, when I came unknown, novice, despite being 24, people didn't have a clue. I'm only one, but we've got 12 of them in the summer. But we went, who's that? Don't know much about him. You look him up, all right, okay. How much does it cost? Oh, peanuts. You need to probably give them a season. And that's where the patience comes in for the fan. But I don't think the modern fan, whether it's Middlesbrough or third, fourth, Championship, Premier, I don't think fans have got patience. And owners certainly haven't got patience, because the stick starts going towards them and then they go, oh, get rid of the coach, we want the flack. But some of them cause the flack. Chelsea were trashes. Dear God, Enzo, what's going on? Bruce says, yeah, I used to know the family a bit. I was in a brand with Ali's son. No way they'd ever buy us. So we're talking about the... I'm sure if it's what the folk are speculating on, it's one that always does the rounds. Yeah, so talking about the cabling company. Chelsea were thrashes 4-1, dear me. 47, Villa to 1. You're not a betting man, but that's buying money. I want to be dragged into that. Adrian Patson says, I don't get all these injuries as long as I have supported Borough. We have always been told a rough timeline. How long? How long a player will be out. This season it seems a player gets an injury and we have to guess how long. I've said that. They will be out for. The McGree situation baffles me. Out so long and soon as Australia call him, he's back for injury. Do you know what I'd have done to McGree if I was a coach? I'd say, so you're just declaring yourself fit now, kidder. Okay, I'm not playing you. I'm not proving you fit and playing you come off the bench a couple of games before you head off to the... I'd have just pulled it on them and said, you know, if you want to go to Australia and they want to take a chance on you, I'm not proving your fitness for your country. I'm here to represent Middlesbrough. I'd have probably put that on him. I wouldn't have played him. Then it's up to Australia to gamble and say, is he fit? They knew he was fit because you see him come off the bench a couple of occasions. He did well when he came off the bench. I'm a great fan, by the way. I'm a big fan. I think he's the best player we've got in the squad by a million miles. Great left peg, great energy, great work ethic, scores great goals, can create. He's a live wire. But when it comes to Middlesbrough and country, Middlesbrough every time for me. And it's just funny how he just declares himself fit when it's approaching. He only declared himself fit 2 weeks ago. And don't forget when he was fit, but something keeps going on at me saying something must have went on with him and Carrick and people behind the scene, because he went off the radar despite being the best player in our squad and never played when he was fit. That was stubborn for me, didn't know why. And it happens, don't kid yourself, it's happened to myself. Hi Bernie mate, Happy New Year to you, Carl. I'm not sure what happened with the Borough today, as we played good in the first half. And was a different team in the second. We're all seeing the same game, Carl. We all can't be wrong. Usually there's loads of different opinions, different ways, but we're all agreeing that the first half was good, exciting, we were creative, we scored a great goal, and then the wheels come off second half. It was too easy. Bruce says, remember what Warnock said about signing players here? He said it was like pulling teeth, getting the main men in you need. It's been a tedious process for too long now. Good job. We have a great academy. Have we got a great academy? But relying on obscure punts from Scott and Co won't get us far anytime soon. Your pookies and such don't come about every day. Yeah, I mean, years ago, when Mannion and all that, I said this a few weeks ago, the scouting systems, I wasn't the director of football, that wasn't the key word or the name. It was scouting system. Scouts would go about all the local parks and pitches, looking at them, and he's a good player, and inviting them in and have a trial, and then go on the books and S forms and progress through the reserves and cleaning the books, and that was the way they'd done it. And they were for nothing. You got them for nothing. Because with local lads, you probably, like Pallister, you give the William St Thorny a set of strips for Pallister, who went on to be 2.3 million at Man United. That's the way it used to be. Now, well, it's still a form of shopping, because boys were bringing in still cost money. It might be peanuts to us, but it's still money being paid. So they're not exactly finding gems that cost nothing. We're paying money for these guys. Whereas years ago, top players come in, they went on to play for England, Great Britain, like Mannion and Hardwick and co. We're talking many years, of course. They cost nothing. Palace are set of strips. Set of strips. Me, 25 grand. We don't get players like that now. But we get 25 grand a week. Michael Carrick and Jonathan Woodgate working miracles with the squad. It's for Stephen Pussifer. I hope I've phrased your name right. I hope we can give them some money come next season. Desperate for two fullbacks and the left winger, in my opinion. Yeah, the fullback positions have become a bit of a problem, isn't it? No, we're chopping and changing all the time. For me, we won't really flourish until we get the settled team again. Carrick was at his best. The team were at his best when he first came in. Done away with the back five. He's still done that. He's kept a flat back four, which I still admire, despite being inconsistent. Keep that. Get the settled team he wants. Obviously, we need to wait for injuries to return, hopefully one or two players, and let it roll. And that, for me, is a way to success. This chopping and changing and injuries, and it's just disruptive. That's inconsistent. We're inconsistent at being inconsistent. In all seriousness, what do you think will happen over the next two against two of the best teams in the Premier League? Matt Salmon. You're asking me, there's no guarantee, excuse me, we're all going to play it with potential. If we all play it with potential, we will get beat because they've got some top players who cost millions and millions and millions of pounds. The Premier League teams. There is a great gulf between Premier and Championship. We've seen that. One-off games, no, but anything can happen. But I just think Villa are one of the best sides in the league. The manager, Emery, since Gerrard, he's made Gerrard look like a Boy Scout in charge of Villa. He's come in with a lot of same players and turned it around, transformed it totally. They're fearless. They're entertaining. They score goals. They're up there with the big boys. And Chelsea, still like the coach, but again, he's not signed a lot of their players. He has to put his own stamp in it, but they're like us, inconsistent. The important thing is, at the Riverside, Villa's a one-off game. It ends on the day, doesn't it? Does it end on the day? FA Cup early doors? Sure, it finishes in the day. But the League Cup, 2 legs, we just need to be a bit cagey, because there is a second leg. Last thing we want to try to go gung-ho, try to show everybody we're an attacking team and get done, and then we go down there and get walloped. And so that, as I say, Matt, I've not got a crystal ball, but I can only presume that we go into the 2 games confident, which is difficult after getting beat today, but we need to pick ourselves up. We've got a week to back in the training ground and get through it, and no doubt we'll be looking at clips of both. I'm sure the lads watch Match of the Day and Premier League games all week when they're not playing. They'll know how good these guys are. They'll know what they're good at, their deficiencies, and they'll certainly know ours. Borough have to go loans financially. The Borough cannot compete with the likes of Leicester and Leeds. Ex-Premier. The club is not an attractive club at the moment. I've said that anybody who signs on a decent length contract do not have the quality to get the club promoted. Taking quality loans on quality players is a win-win. Let them use the Borough and the Borough move up the table. Yeah, well, who's this from? Yeah, but Matt, now, what you're saying, I agree to disagree, because this has been a problem last season, and the season before that, and the season before that, and Cabano, Balassi, just for talking's sake, the lad who was the gypsy from Millwall or wherever he's from, the Irish lad. We've had Barrigan, the guy Fiasco. We've all these guys, all on loan. And whether they're good, and a lot of them performed, and we've mentioned all the recent ones, and they all head back. So what do? So they get us up there, and then you pull the rug from under our feet, but back to square one. If we've got a model of bringing in young lads and giving them 4-year contract, surely the way forward is to stick to that trend in January and say, no, we're bringing in players that's going to be for a couple of years rather than these loan players, because loan players are disruptive. I know what you're saying. They can be profitable short term and get us up there and maybe get us in where we want to be around about, and they turn it on and we get attracted to them, and then they go. The kids get their shirts on, 5 months later, they've gone. The shirt's in the bin, you need to read the shirt and the name. I've seen it for years at Middlesbrough. I like Balassi, for talk's sake. I was a Balassi fan. Disappeared. All the clubs attracted, headed off. Cabano headed back to his parent club. Or what about the other ones? Gels and all that. So for me, it's good, but it's no good. It's a short-term fix. It's not a long-term fix. It's more disruption. We've already disrupted at the minute with injuries and loss of form. And it's more disruptive. When you see guys come in doing the business and heading off after, well, you've got them from May you've got them from January to May. And then you get attracted to them, you think, oh, and then they head off. I don't think that's good. So it's a win-win. Well, no, it's a win-lose at the end of the season. They win-win, and the club win-wins. But tell me this, how's Carrick never got any loan players from Man United? There must be loads of players at the surplus down there at Old Trafford. There must be loads of... Well, how's Carrick never attracted one player from Man United? My guess is he could attract him, but they'll be on 30, 40, 50 grand, and we don't want to pay half of that money while he's on loan, if we get him on loan. You think loan players cost next to nothing? They don't. We have to pay half the money. If we want a good player, we come on loan. So the downside for me is we have to pay half the money, and the biggest downside is they head off and go with pastures new at the end of the season. So for me, it's not a win-win. I think it's just more disruption, more chaos. I love your definition of fanning about the back. That's what it is, Colin. Fanning about, messing about. Absolutely hate teams mucking about and not clearing the lines. I coached my son's 2012 team, and they want us to encourage this nonsense. Fanning about the back is horrific. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, fanning about, it's not bad words. If you're offended, I don't give a... Offended for what? People dying, getting raped in pillows, you're worried about a word. Messing about, fanning about back, call it what you like. You're doing it, you're taking risks, unnecessary risks. You're looking for trouble, and then when it comes your way, we shouldn't have done that. We ain't Man City. We'll never be Man City. Man City get away with it. I've watched Premier League teams all last week. What's this, Monday? Last week. Yeah, 3 or 4 top teams. Keepers bad balls, fanning about the back, ends up in the back of their own net. We're not good enough at it. We're too slow and laboured and predictable. Opposing teams watch us. They all watch each other now. They know how we play, what we're about, who's hesitant. Put pressure on, they can't deal with it. We are what we are. If miracles do happen and we do go up, how much would we need to spend and how many players would we, let's say Matt Salmon, would we need? Well, it's a hypothetical question, Mark, but the last time we were in the Premier League under Aitor Karanka, if my memory serves me right, out the whole squad, and that team was rated, we got promoted, don't forget. I think there was only 3 players actually done the business. And I can only think of 2 of them. In the top flight, Ben Gibson. I thought he was a success, despite his letting goals, and he was one of the better players. Negredo was a big success, despite being up front in his own and have to head his ball and go and run after his own ball because we were so deep under Karanka. And there was one more, I can't even remember who it was, so he wasn't that good. So for me, there was only 2 or 3 out of the whole squad when we got promoted into the Premier League. And that team then was a better team than now, for sure. So that might give you an idea, Mark, what you're asking. So you're asking how much would we need to spend and how many players. I think we need a boatload of players to compete in the Premier League. To compete. If you want to get in and get gubbed every week. Don't forget, Karanka only won 4 games. 4 games. Went 7.5 games without a goal in the Premier League. That tells you how tough it is. And Karanka was a defensive-minded coach, well drilled, organised, great in the Championship defensively. Never scored a lot of goals, but great in the Championship. Wasn't exactly entertaining, but it's already been entertaining in the Premier. You need a good defence as well. I meant to read these. I'm sorry if I've no time. Right, I have got time. Let's see, we're finished now. What time does it? Dear God, I've always got the runway. Listen, thanks very much for joining. I don't even bother reading them. Apologies, I'll read them next game, Saturday. I'll be on 7:30 here after this in Villa game. Hopefully talking about progression in the FA Cup. And then in the Tuesday, Chelsea. I've always despised Chelsea, I keep saying it. Ever since we get chased off the pitch. When we relegated them in their own backyard. I've always despised them. So let's hope we can beat Chelsea. Well, let's concentrate one game at a time. Aston Villa. Today, first half, Borough were good. looked as if we were going to look fairly comfortable. And then when we missed a few chances, you're starting to think, hold on a minute. And then the dynamics changed second half, and they ended up scoring 3, could have scored 4. There was one that hit the post. Anyway, I'm not into this bad day at the office. It wasn't a bad day. We've been huffing and puffing the last few games, and today it came me ahead. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back again on Saturday. This is Monday, Saturday, after the Aston Villa game. And I'd like to thank yous for watching on YouTube and Facebook Live, and thank the sponsors: GRS Installation, Dovecot, Advanced Utility Solutions, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Ultimate Windows, Ocean Lighting, and TGM Cars. Thank you very much. Cheers, Cal. Up the border. Have a great new year. Healthy and prosperous new year. Up the border. I'm not going to say keep the faith. The players have to keep the faith. Cheers. Cheers.